The long and arduous three-year quest to qualify for the World Cup kicks off right here in Melbourne. With its beating heart of sport, style, arts, cafe and culinary scene that is one of the best in the world. This vibrant city is just waiting to be explored. Its eclectic bars and of course its outstanding coffee to be discovered throughout this metropolis, which is where we find ourselves tonight, at Amy Park, as the Socceroos take the first step on the road to the World Cup 2026. A sixth straight appearance is a goal as a brand new cycle begins on home soil tonight against world number 186 Bangladesh. What a moment it is and what a date it is, the 16th of November 2023. A historical date for those that have worn the green and gold and represented this country as well. Hello and welcome, I'm Tara Rushton. It is great to have your company here this evening and to be joined by a couple of legends who have donned the green and gold. Alex Frost, great to see you.
Tara, how are you?
I'm very well. Archie Thompson, great to see you.
You too.
And John Aloisi, great to see you as well.
Good to see you, Tara.
Pretty special date, isn't it, Johnny, eh? The 16th of November 2023, because 18 years ago, it is a very happy anniversary to you. It was your penalty that changed football in this country forever.
Hasn't he told us about it too?
Everyone else tells us about it, Johnny.
18 years, it felt like yesterday, Arch.
Yeah.
You know, time passes so quickly, but what a night. What a moment for Australian football. Look, I was just lucky enough to be part of it with Archie and be part of this moment. And, you know, it was so long since we qualified for the last World Cup. Everyone knows it was 32 years. I was involved in the 97 campaign when we lost to Iran in terms of the two-leg playoff, the 2001 against Uruguay, and you saw what it meant, not just to us players out there, but to the whole footballing country.
And how many people have come up to you and said they were there behind the goal? I think, what's the capacity of Stadium Australia?
There was 83,000 people there. I think 150,000 people come up to me and said they were behind the goal that night.
Every single one of them. Now, Archie and Broski, what a moment this was, and what a night, 18 years later, the Socceroos kick off their qualification to the 2026 World Cup. We're crossing our fingers and hoping it's a little bit more straightforward. The last two qualifying campaigns went the entire distance. Will it be easier this time?
Oh, look, I'd say so. The last two went to playoffs, which are obviously incredibly stressful. But I think this time, with the amount of teams that are qualifying for the World Cup now, the amount of extra spots we get for qualification makes it a little bit easier. And I think as well that the way that Arnie's positioned this squad, the way he's got them playing, the youngsters that we've got going to Europe as well and playing in good leagues, I think we're positioned very, very well to qualify a lot easier.
Yeah, and look, I think with the extra spots, I'm just kind of hoping that it doesn't dilute the quality in the World Cup, but it certainly does help us because we know it was edge of the seat sort of stuff when we last qualified, went to penalty shootout and we got there. I don't want to do that again. I know that the whole Australia don't want to do it again, so I think we've got a good opportunity.
The number of spots and countries, of course, that qualify through the AFC, it was 4 last campaign. For 2026, it goes up to 8. Taking a look at the Australian lineup tonight, it's an aggressive one with Lewis Miller and Geordie Boss proving and providing the go forward out wide, and up front it is an unseen combination in the green and gold of Brandon Borrello and Mitchell Duke, as Arnie has that focus on goals, and more goals. Johnny Aloisi, we haven't seen these two start together for the Socceroos ever. So how does Borrello and Duke, how do they both fit in this starting lineup?
I think Borrello, he's shown at West Indies Wanderers he's played up top and he's done really well up top and he scores goals. And also he likes to run in behind. Mitch Duke, he's actually really good with his back to play. He brings other people into play. And I love it that Arnie's gone with 2 strikers. We want goals and I'm sure he's going to give us that tonight.
We like it. Geordie Boss, you're a fan of him?
Absolutely. Look, I think what we've seen from him, he can play anywhere on that left side and he can cut inside. He's got a great finish as well. So I think tonight, especially we're going to come up against a packed defence, and someone like him who can overlap and create chances for us is going to be so important.
I know we're talking about the starting lineup. We can ask the man alongside me right now, Graham Arnold. It's great to see you. You're finally at home and you're starting a brand new cycle. It must be great to be home.
Yeah, look, it's been a long time, obviously, that we've been back home, and the boys are extremely excited to be playing in front of family and friends and, of course, the fans. But, you know, it's all about the performance tonight, and it's, you know, the boys, they're in a good spirits and they're ready.
I know there's celebrations all around tonight. It is the 16th of November, of course, 2023, but celebrations for you as well.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here.
You put me number 5, mate.
You asked for it.
Number 5, we're thanking you every day, Johnny A. You become the longest-standing Socceroos coach, Graham Arnold, and it's a tough job. I mean, you might have lost a little bit of hair. The afro's gone in that time, but you still stand here with the same big smile on your face and the same amount of passion for what you can do with this team in the green and gold.
Yeah, look, it's been an incredible journey, and you know, to be honest, Tara, I'm not even thinking about that tonight. It's you know, I'll reflect on it maybe in the future, and after this camp, the most important thing is the players and making sure we get them ready for the game and for their performance. And then after tonight, obviously, we're on a plane across to Kuwait to play Palestine. So that's the most important thing for me.
Arnie, I know that you don't want to reflect on that, but 2007 you started. It's taken you 2 stints to get here. You got the second chance at it. What sort of made you feel like that you were ready for that second opportunity? And now it just seems like there's no other Socceroos team without.
I think I got it from you, 13 goals in 1 game, Archie.
I'm glad you mentioned that, mate.
Before you did.
No, but look, I have to be honest and say that, you know, in 2007 I was nowhere near ready. I did it for a favour for the organisation to be an interim coach, and I pretty much could see as a person myself in Thailand and Vietnam at the time, I wasn't ready to coach these type of players that were playing in the Premier League in England. But I went away from that, and you know, it was probably the best lesson I learned was during that time of what I wanted to do and to become a coach. And you know, and after taking over after goose hitting is probably not the smartest idea.
100%.
Arnie, I know that Brandon Morello's played right wing in the past, but he's played up front in the last year or so with the Wanderers up top. You'll use him up top tonight with the ball, and without the ball, it will be Connor Metcalf that will go on that right side a little bit.
That's it, Johnny. You know, a bit lopsided. Obviously, on the left side, we got Geordie Boss and Craig Goodwin. Goody will give us width on the left, and on the right, Lewis Miller will give us width. It's like a right wing back. Brandon will play as a double 9, and Connor Metcalf will go into the pocket to give us 2 8s with Jackson Irvine and be in a position that we're getting men in the box. So when we got delivery, 4 or 5 players in the box to get on the end of the crosses.
And considering our opponents tonight, Arnie, Bangladesh, they will be packed. They will try and make it difficult for you. What did you work on this week to try and get around that?
Yeah, look, we had 1.5 sessions, and it was just based around the attacking patterns, Broski, and I think the most important thing over the last few days was getting our presentations right. They're smart players. They're fit. They're technically good, and it's just about, you know, just showing them, connecting them together to, you know, with cues of what to do. And so attacking patterns. I've been with them now long enough. I think the last 10 months against better opposition has shown them how to defend. That won't change our defensive structure and our pressing. It's just a little bit more with the ball tonight.
Well, Arnie, thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck tonight. Great to see you back home.
Thanks, Tara. Thank you.
Let's get some reaction from the squad now. It's a good evening to Neve Owens, who's joined by Socceroo Connor Metcalf.
Connor, you've been flying for St. Pauli, playing out wider in that forward role. How's Arnie going to use you tonight?
I can't really give that away yet, but no, I'll be more in the, maybe higher right on the right side. But yeah, it's going to be good. Looking forward to it.
Been looking forward to being reunited with Jackson Irvine in the midfield as well. How important is that partnership at both club level and here in the Socceroos?
Yeah, it's very important. You know, we have a really good connection on the field and also off the field, and I think it's going to show tonight in our performance.
How big an opportunity is a game like this tonight here on home soil to show the boss, but also Aussie football fans, what this next gen of Socceroos have really got?
Yeah, we've got a massive opportunity. You know, you can see there's been a lot of movement from the boys in the A-League, moving overseas and that. And yeah, it's a real opportunity for us tonight to take our chance and secure our spot in the team.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, great to hear from Connor Metcalf there. Let's take a look at Bangladesh now. The Bengal Tigers, who arrive after defeating the Maldives 3-2 on aggregate to book their spot here at this round of qualification. Their Danish-born captain Jamal is the most capped player and will bring the experience and be the engine in midfield, whilst 21-year-old Fahim is their striker up top, and he slotted away the winner at home against the Maldives to qualify for this round. Now, the Bengal Tigers, they're yet to appear at a World Cup. They won just 11 of 60 qualifying games since 1986, and they've appeared just once at the Asian Cup. The Socceroos, they've met them before en route to the 2018 World Cup, defeating them 5-0 and 4-0 respectively as well. And of course, we heard from Graham Arnold, if we expect them to play a certain way, they'll be sitting very defensively. And Archie, you've thrown your support behind a very great cause tonight, the Polish man to end violence against women and children. This is a fantastic cause. Tell us about it. How can you get involved?
Well, you can donate, fundraise, or sign up to become a Polish business at polishman.com. Together, we can help women and children affected by violence.
Yep, great cause. Archie Thompson, thank you so much for throwing your support behind that one. All right, we are off to a short break. More build-up, though, coming your way live from Amy Park as the Socceroos. They kick off their qualification to the World Cup 2026. And don't forget, though, when the A-League's back, it's a huge Sydney derby on the agenda.
And off we go. Sydney FC and Western Sydney Wanderers get it on again. And still, Cassini Yengi! Past one on his left foot, let's fly! First blood in the derby, and it's sky blue. Ewan Hall against his former club. A howitzer into the top corner. And it comes, and Lafondra with 10 minutes to go. Is that the crucial blow? Takes it in his stride, lovely stuff, lovely goal from Aaron Moy, and Australia have 5. Hale looking for his 43rd international goal. Yeah! And there is the opener, and it is that man, Tim Cahill. Riston had continued the run, can he find the delivery? Cahill was there, he and Burns almost got in each other's way. Cahill trying to dig it out, eventually it's got in, and Tim Cahill has a second. Bangladesh don't like it. But Cahill has doubled Australia's lead. It's about trying to pick your way through for Australia, and they're going to do that. Here's Aramoy, chance for a third. It's a hat-trick for Timmy inside 37 minutes. Astonishing.
That was the last time the Socceroos met Bangladesh. Of course, it was highlighted by a Timmy Cahill hat-trick. Who else? Well, Archie Thompson would say, what about mine and what about me? But that night was all about Tim Cahill. And here we are tonight at Amy Park, 2 campaigns later, on the 16th of November 2023, starting all over again. So how do the Socceroos qualify for the World Cup in 2026? We know it's an expanded format with 48 teams now, up from 32, lifting the number of teams qualifying through Asia from 4 to 8. The Socceroos are in Group I alongside Palestine, Lebanon and Bangladesh. There are 9 groups of 4. The top 2 from each group go through to the 3rd round. With 18 teams progressing, these are split into 3 groups of 6 nations each. The top 2 from each group books their spot at the World Cup. So that's a total of 6 spots locked in from the 3rd round. 3rd and 4th place from the above group form 2 new groups of 3. They face off in a mini tournament, with the top countries of each group securing the 2 remaining spots. And as usual, the one spot is decided via an intercontinental playoff. Archie Thompson, Alex Bross, Johnny A. Have you got me?
No, can you explain that?
You lost me at the second round, Tara.
Listen very, very carefully. I'm going to draw a diagram. Give me a whiteboard. And don't forget, of course, Graham Arnold said it. He's got tonight. They're on a plane. They head to Kuwait and they face Palestine. As we know, it is long and it is arduous, this journey to qualify for the World Cup. So many celebrations going round across the board. This week, the alumni of 1974 was celebrated. It really is incredible, isn't it, team? It's 50 years on since the late Rally Rasic guided the part-timers and the Socceroos of 1974 to the very first World Cup ever. Let's take a look.
These soccer players in Australia's national strip of gold and green are known as the Socceroos, and in the space of 14 months, they've waltzed their way into the finals of the World Football Championship in West Germany.
It's great to catch up with so many players from the past.
Just wonderful, great memories, and then, you know, just to see the faces again and all that. It's so far in between.
50 years on, it's clearly a great night in their lives, but more importantly, their friendships, their love for each other.
To qualify as winners of their Asian group, Australia's World Cup team played a total of 11 matches.
The playoff against South Korea, the biggest night of our lives. Jimmy Mackay's goal was like, wow.
I gave the ball to Jimmy Mackay.
I'm sure I took a nick off my ass.
And he put it in the top corner.
and it ricocheted in the goal, but I didn't want to take it off him.
It's coming down in his direction, headed to Rooney. The shot coming in.
It was heaven.
It was absolutely fascinating what we had to go through. And out of the whole of Australasia and then to Southeast Asia, the Arab nations, one qualifier. Not 5, not 4, 1.
And he's onside, Sparbasser. Oh, hard lines on the man who's nearly got it off the line. This Vogel. Oh, what a superb goal!
It's only after the event that you realise what you've been involved with.
What Raleigh done for that team in 1973-74 was so unbelievable. To take a team of part-time players to play in the World Cup against the Beckenbauers and the Germanys, and it was unbelievable what he did.
They were truly a group of world beaters. The World Cup at that time, there were 16 teams that would qualify for it. It was a Socceroos' first appearance this week, of course, as we celebrated that very first team. The biography of Adrian Alston, this was released as well. The untold story of Noddy, which really pulls the curtain back, but it was truly an incredible moment, team, wasn't it? Because it defied history and changed football in this country forever, Broski.
Look, it definitely did, and like was mentioned there, you know, they were part-time footballers going on to take the best in the world, and up until Johnny scored that penalty, that was all we had to talk about, the 74 World Cup, so it was an incredible moment.
Yeah, I remember. Look, I grew up in Adelaide, playing for Adelaide City, and I remember in the club room seeing the photo of that old bus, and they were getting on that old bus, and it inspired me. It said, one day I want to play for the Socceroos, one day I want to play in a World Cup. If these players can do it back in 74, just before I was born, why can't I do it? And so that felt, and just seeing that and what a group they are and how they're still so strong together after 50 years is amazing.
It's at a spot of inspiration though, isn't it? They are so close as well to this day, Archie.
Yeah, well, I guess when you go through a journey like they had and what we've been through with Socceroo campaigns, I mean, that one in 2005-06, you've had to wait a long time for that, and it just bonds a group together. And I feel like with Socceroo teams, it's always like that, whether you go to World Cups or not. It's just that camaraderie, that brotherhood that you just don't lose.
Well, let's hear from one more of those squad members right now. Neve Owens is with Cameron Burgess.
Cameron Burgess has been good enough to join us. Cameron, we can hear the crowd going off. This is your first game for the Socceroos here on home soil. How special an occasion is it?
Yeah, it's a special moment. Got some family here, friends watching back in Perth as well. So, yeah, it's a special moment, and bring on the game.
Well, you've got that big physical presence in the centre of defence, yourself next to Harry Suter. How important will that be to really impose yourselves on this contest?
Yeah, obviously it's a big advantage for us, so hopefully we can use it as set pieces and obviously defending our goal as well, so hopefully it comes to our advantage.
We know we've got tall timber at the back, but is there a competition between you and Harry who can get the most goals at the other end tonight?
I don't know, he's got a bit of a head start on me, so we'll see how that goes.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you, cheers.
Yes, Cameron Burgess alongside Harry Suter, the Mount Kosciuszko of defences here in the green and gold. And we snuck into Socceroos camp this week and really got a bit of a look inside the war room as to just what the logistics and really what it takes. It is a well-oiled machine, isn't it, team, when it comes to the planning, not just for tonight, Johnny, but what is ahead, getting the players in from each of their respective teams, having a day and a half on the training paddock together, and then it starts now.
Yeah, the planning that goes into it, not just tactics, that's what we see on the field, but the planning for players to get here, what they do when they arrive, sleep patterns, all these things. So a lot of them only arrived on Tuesday and they play a game on Thursday. It's a unique country that we live in, that we're so far away from the rest of the world, that these players have to endure a lot. But it goes down to the management and the understanding of how to get these players to perform at their best. I remember our team manager, Gary Moretti, used to stay up all night just to do flights, and we'll be hounding him. Can you please get us on this flight?
I know, I'm sure there are stories like that, right? And then you're like, okay, can I fly home early? What about my family coming over? I've got to go back to this club. Oh, my manager wants me home early. It is a village.
It is, and it's good to see. It's good for people to see, because like Johnny said, there's only a couple of days, and it's chaos in those couple of days. But these guys need to manage that, need to manage the players, the recovery, every individual that comes into camp. And it's good for people to see the background, what goes on.
Johnny A, there is no doubt, looking at the starting lineup, that Graham Arnold is well and truly going for it here tonight. Mitchell Duke, he's such a big presence and a menace up front, but he's not a player that's just going to wait around the box and wait for something to happen, but really involves himself in the play, especially in transition.
He does. He comes off the line really well, and a lot of his stuff is one touch, and he lays off and he brings others into play. You see here, he comes off the line, he draws a defender out, but then when he plays the ball, it always sticks, and then they're allowed to go forward, and then they can actually break forward with the ball. You see here, it's in the air, but they already know, and they run off of him. Craig Goodman runs off of Mitch Duke. A lot of this stuff gets unnoticed, so when they had to bypass the press sometimes, they play up to him, they got Connor Metcalf underneath, and all of a sudden they're on the attack. And this is what will happen a lot tonight. You'll see him come off the line around the box, play players in around corners, players coming underneath, and then the next one will be a forward pass and a forward run. And he will get in the box to score goals. A lot of his work goes underrated because it's only one touch, but he's so important for the way Arnie plays.
And he's hit double digits in Japan, where he's been playing team this season so far. He's up for promotion, so he arrives in really great form.
Yeah, he is. They actually had been promoted. They won the championship, so it's done early. He's been prolific there. He'll be playing J-League football next year. So he's been great for the Socceroos. I mean, he had a wonderful World Cup. When you think about like a number 9 and how mobile and the way that he moves and brings players in, he's fantastic.
Yeah, I think that stuff that Johnny mentioned there that goes unnoticed and underrated, that one touch, that linking players up, is why Arnie has stuck with him for so long. We've got some great goal scorers on the bench, but it's those other little bits that he provides that make him so key.
They are going to be key tonight. Mitchell Duke and Brandon Borrello starting up top for the very first time in Socceroos history. We are off to a short break. Thousands are flooding through the gates here at Amy Park tonight. Do not go anywhere. It is the Socceroos v Bangladesh live on Network 10 and Paramount Plus from the stunning Amy Park in Melbourne.
For the Socceroos, football never sleeps, football never stops. It's 1-0 Australia.
Brandon Borrello doing it for Australia.
And hits it, what a strike! But never ever right off the Socceroos.
Well, here we go from the stunning Amy Park, the 3-year quest to qualify for the World Cup in 2026. It starts this evening in just a couple of moments' time. It is Australia v Bangladesh. It is the 16th of November 2023. What a momentous and historic night. This was 18 years ago, thanks to Johnny Aloisi and what he did when his foot connected with that penalty. And taking a look at the Socceroos record here at home, 14 qualifiers have been played here at home, 12 have been won, 1 draw and 1 loss. So it is without a doubt Archie Thompson, Johnny Aloisi and Alex Bross that the Socceroos have a fantastic record here at home as they are waiting in the tunnel to come out for their first qualifier.
Yeah, look, I think when you look at those results that weren't wins against Saudi, Japan, you know, tonight's a game that we're expecting to win. We're expecting to win well, given the quality of the opposition, given the quality of plays that we have and the style of football that Arnie's got these boys playing. So I'm definitely expecting a lot of goals tonight.
Yeah, and it's great to see the boys back on home soil because a large period of their campaign last time round was overseas. So it's great that we get to see them play. Some of the youngsters watch these, you know, what we see, you can see some of the old Socceroos. They're watching now their Socceroos. So it's a great moment and hopefully we'll see a good performance.
And great from the FA in deciding that the 50-year anniversary of the 74 squad here tonight. Quite a few that we know really well. Arnie's saying hello to him. I saw Les Scheinflog, who was our coach in the under-20s for a number of years. Ron Corrie, Jim Fraser, who we had as coaches in the A-League at the goalkeeper level. So many familiar faces, and they should be proud of what they achieved back in the day. And I'm sure they're excited to see Graham Arnold's teams who are playing really good football. Arnie said tonight it's all about the performance. And what he means by that is actually performing at a high level but scoring goals. And that's why he's got those strikers up top. We'll count a lot on the delivery from Miller out on the right, Goodwin on the left, and we'll get bodies into the box. He wants 4 or 5 bodies in the box to score as many goals as possible.
You're exactly right. There may be a gulf in class, Alex Bross, when it comes to what the world number 183, the Bengal Tigers, are going to put forward. But it starts right now. He will want to make a statement. He doesn't want to qualify for the World Cup the long way.
No way. He'd want to get off on the right foot tonight. We've mentioned about the issue scoring goals. We've scored a lot of set pieces, and it could be that the first goal or two come from that, because we're expecting Bangladesh to really sit in and make it difficult. But I think Arnie, with the game plan that he has, is to get players in the box, like you said, get as many men as he can, creating chances for our goal scorers, and absolutely, I think tonight, with the home record that we have, will start fantastic.
Bangladesh are yet to appear at a World Cup. One appearance in the Asian Cup, and Archie Thompson, yes, player for player. You look at this Socceroos squad, the men in the green and gold, and it far and truly outweighs that of Bangladesh. Brandon Borrello, straight from the A-Leagues, playing up top alongside Mitchell Duke for the very first time. He's got promotion to J1. He's in the double digits scoring goals for the very first time. And Craig Goodwin returns back to the fold. He's seeing family members here for the first time. He's been playing in the Saudi Pro Leagues. He just played against Ronaldo last weekend. But that is a really, really frightening front three.
Well, as a Socceroo, you don't care what opposition you're playing against. You know that you're in a team that can potentially go to a World Cup, and there's only limited spaces, limited spots to be in a World Cup. So their minds are not thinking about, okay, how poor maybe Bangladesh are going to be tonight. How can I impress Graham Arnold? I know it's only the start of this journey, but you want to make sure you're in the front of his mind.
Are you feeling the goals tonight, Johnny?
Definitely feeling the goals. I expect our strikers to score. Also expect Jackson Irvine and Connor Metcalf to get on the score sheet as well. Yeah,
it's great to see that Jackson Irvine is back, Metcalf in the middle, and Keanu Bacchus as well. But Borrello, Duke and Craig Goodwin, those front three are looking so dangerous with Lewis Miller and Geordie Boss. Really, really happy to go forward from the left and right back flank. Let's now take in the national anthems.
সোনার বাংলা আমি তোমায় ভালোবাসি চিরদিন তোমার আকাশ চিরদিন তোমার আকাশ তোমার বাতাস আমার প্রাণে ও মায় আমার প্রাণে বাজায় বাঁশি
standing for the national anthem of Australia to be performed by Ben Clark.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Amy Park is the setting for this opening match of the World Cup qualifiers for the Socceroos on the road to North America 2026. A long road it promises to be, but history suggests that Amy Park is a happy hunting ground for green and gold. Every match competitively that they've played here, they have won since it opened in 2010. Matty Ryan and his charges there, just 9 of this current squad were in Qatar a year ago at the last World Cup, where the Socceroos did their country proud, heading all the way to the second round and that narrow defeat to eventual world champions Argentina. Well, for his record 59th time in charge, Graham Arnold has made 4 changes to the starting 11 that won the Anzac Ashes last month. Ipswich Town's Cam Burgess returns for his 3rd cap in the centre of defence, with Geordie Boss dropping back to left back from left wing against the All Whites. In midfield, Jackson Irvine comes back in alongside St. Pauli teammate Connor Metcalf, along with Keanu Bacchus. And up front, Martin Boyle, only joining the team in Kuwait, misses out and will be there for the game against Palestine. So it's Brandon Borrello and Craig Goodwin who come back in alongside Mitchell Duke. For Bangladesh and their Spanish coach Javier Cabrera, he's made 2 changes from the side that beat the Maldives 3-2 on aggregate to qualify for this second round. 19-year-old goalkeeper Mitul Marma continues between the posts. In defence, Hassan Murad makes his first ever start alongside Bishwanath Ghosh. Mojibo Ramanjani comes in for the suspended Mohamed Sohail Rana, and up front Rakib and Rahim, who both got the goals in the 2-1 home win over the Maldives, will lead the line in attack. So Graham Arnold, the longest serving Socceroos coach for A internationals, match number 59 for him, surpassing Frank Farina, his old teammate in green and gold. And there is Javier Cabrera, who was, before taking over the youth academy at Alaves in Spain, for 4 months, the North Virginia Barcelona academy coach in the US of A. He is the man charged with trying to take Bangladeshi football to the next level. Brandon Borrello, a start for him. Only 1 goal in green and gold so far. It came against Ecuador back in March of this year. Connor Metcalf is making a place for himself in this starting 11 for the Socceroos, as he currently sits atop the table in Bundesliga 2, along with his club captain Jackson Irvine and Mitch Duke. 10 goals in 30 appearances for the Socceroos. Will he still be leading the line in 3 years' time? So on this 16th of November, A holy day for fans of the Socceroos. It was 18 years ago that John Aloisi sent the green and gold back to the World Cup. It was 50 years ago on the 13th of November that the Socceroos qualified for the first ever time for the World Cup in 1974. And Andy Harper, in a match in which these youngsters, this latest generation, look to make a name for themselves and take the Socceroos for a 6th time to the biggest single sporting event on the planet. It's also a time to look back and celebrate that 50-year anniversary and many of those players here this evening.
Yeah, good evening, Robbie, and to everyone watching on the 10 Network and Paramount Plus. It's a date for Australian football drenched in significance, and we've seen some of those 74 heroes in the flesh here today. Noddy Alston releasing his book, his biography this week. They're still cutting fine figures, and I'm sure, Robbie, more than passing amounts of pride as they formed the guard of honour for the Socceroos to take the field. It's an immense legacy they've left. And then the 2006 boys with Johnny A's penalty on this day all those years ago, and now the current generation. Here we go for the 2026 FIFA World Cup finals. That journey starts right now.
And these two sides have met twice before. It was in World Cup qualifying, the same round, round 2. Ahead of the World Cup in Russia. And on that day, in Perth, a 4-0 victory, 5-0 for the Socceroos, and the return game in Dhaka in Bangladesh, a 4-0 victory. The only time these two countries have met. The Socceroos certainly start favourites. Javier Cabrera, the Bangladesh coach, said as much in the pre-match press conference yesterday. He said Australia are one of the top teams in world football after what they achieved in Qatar 12 months ago. They'll be looking to just confirm that status this evening. 9 of this side that were at the World Cup 12 months ago. Every 4 years, a new cycle. There has to be regeneration, rejuvenation of the squad. Geordie Boss is one of those players. The left back, Craig Goodwin, one of the stars of Qatar, is fouled there by Bishwanath Ghosh.
Bishwanath and Reddy just closing too eagerly, which in some senses from a Bangladesh viewpoint is not a bad thing. It's a big night for them. A big night to play one of the heavyweights in Asia at this first game of the next stage.
Craig Goodwin delivers the free kick in. It's a good ball, and it's the opening goal from the towering Harry Souttar. Well, less than 4 minutes in, and the Socceroos march towards the World Cup 2026 is go. They lead Bangladesh by 1-0.
Well, the eagerness of the Bangladesh defenders has brought them unstuck, because one mustn't be willfully giving free kicks away to this Australian team with Harry Souttar on the back of a Craig Goodwin beauty. He can hit a dead ball, Craig Goodwin. We've marvelled at that over many years in the A-League, and we've become very, very fond and familiar with this side. 6'6" worth of Harry Souttar belting the ball into the back of the net.
1.98 m in the new terms. For the younger Socceroo fans, perhaps. Harry Souttar, that's his 9th goal in green and gold in this, just his 20th appearance. The man that plays for Leicester City in England in the 2nd division. They're currently wrestling with Ipswich Town. Just happens to be his partner in the centre of defence, Cam Burgess, for top spot in the English 2nd division. And it's Bangladesh looking to get forward quickly. Rakib. Straightens up and goes again. And was he looking for a corner there? It didn't get a touch off Geordie Boss, straight through his legs. Goal kick.
He ran out of patience in that little snap sequence from Bangladesh. We've seen their best approach. They'll all be very technical players. Good relationships with the ball, and in tight areas will be them at their strongest, actually. So quite at that point why Rakib decided to try and play for the corner. That speaks, I guess, to the nervousness in some sense, Rory, the lack of experience at this level.
It was Rakib that opened the scoring against the Maldives in that return leg a month ago. Here's Geordie Boss. Good challenge coming across there in the end from Vishwanath, the number 12. The long throw in with Brandon Borello, gets it back again. Jackson Irvine. As the Socceroos bring the ball all the way back out. Geordie Boss again. He's enjoying a good spell at the moment with Westerlo. In Belgium, ball in towards Duke, who is penalised for leading in. Perhaps the referee judging it hit his arm on the way through.
Yeah, it was pretty favourable refereeing. Nice improvisation there from Irvine. Just too much power, Geordie Boss. That was within tackling range, and yet taking out the leg of Murad with that shoulder from Mitch Duke, desperate to get on the end of the ball. He can sniff some goal opportunities here today.
He's enjoyed a good season with Machida, promoted back to the top flight in Japan. And Mitchell Duke amongst the goals as well, 10 of them, to go with 6 assists. The Socceroos will enjoy much of the ball. We've already seen that set pieces are one of their strengths. As Duke sets off for the run in behind, just doesn't quite get there, and it's run out of play by Mitul Mama, the young goalkeeper who's earning just his 3rd cap for Bangladesh. It was Connor Metcalf with that ball over the top. All but one of this Bangladesh side play their football in the Bangladesh Premier League. The only exception being the number 6, the captain, who just played that out of play. Jamal Bouyan, who plays for Club Sol de Mayo in the Argentine 3rd division. The Danish-born and raised defensive midfielder has an amazing story, which we will no doubt get to at some point in the broadcast. Here it's back with Cam Burgess. Now for Geordie Boss. Just one loss in his last 7, Geordie Boss for Westerlo, after a terrible start to the season. Looking to fight their way back up the league table. Miller, quick throw for Duke. Back out. The right back turns inside. Bacchus is there. That pass is under hit from Burgess, picked off by Rakib. Up the line from Rahim. Rakib. Now, has that taken a touch off Cam Burgess, who apologises for the loose pass that turned the ball over at the start of that?
That's a swift counter-attack. He's shown some quality already, has Rakib. And as he looked to fire that ball into the penalty area, Harry Sutar got his toe on the end of it to force the corner, concede the corner.
Fahim with Jamal. Bishwanath. His cross in. Well, we saw it in an attacking forced just before, but there's Harry Suter doing his bread and butter, the defensive duties in the air as it's over the top for Rakib. And the flag is up for offside.
Yeah, movement's good from Rakib. He breached the line there, rightly called offside. His movements are good, just a little bit early did he go then. Clearly offside.
Now refereeing trio, referee and assistants from Uzbekistan. Akhrol Rusguleyev is the man in the middle in fluorescent orange this evening. Fourth official, Crystal John, is from India. Here's Craig Goodwin. Looks up, crosses back post. The punch from Mitul. He managed to get it cleared towards Rahim. But Bacchus is cleaning up at the base of midfield.
Yeah, slightly overhit there from Craig Goodwin, which still presented a test. For Mitchell at Australia. So Mitch Duke just couldn't quite get on the end of it. Nevertheless, the keeper did well in that pressurised situation.
All the way back to Matt Ryan. Cap number 85 this evening for Matt Ryan. He moves clear into 6th place on his own, moving past Paul Wade and Mark Bresciano, who also sat on 84 caps. He's now only 2 behind Alex Tobin, and into the rarefied air. Tobin, Emerton, Neal, Cahill, Schwarzer. Boss back with Burgess. Here's Bacchus. Given away. Bishwanat. Referee sees nothing wrong with the challenge. Connor Metcalf. Strong challenge from Ridoy in the middle of the park, but Metcalf has it back. Rahim closing down the space. And it is just Rakib, the lone striker for Bangladesh. Socceroos already enjoying the Lions' share of possession. Over the top for Geordie Boss, who will, of course, remind Melbourne City fans of those marauding runs here at Amy Park down the left flank.
Yeah, so too. Connor Metcalf, of course, marauding runs through the centre of the park, and it was Connor who was responsible for setting up that last attack. Some good ball winning in midfield. His career's going just nicely with Sampaoli and Jackson Irvine, teammates in the national team midfield as they are at club level in the Bundesliga 2 in Germany. And an unprecedented run for their club, leading the comp, and it's rarefied air for St. Pauli, really.
Undefeated this season.
Fantastic, having a fantastic run. And those two guys right in the heart of it all.
Yellow card for Rakib, who is clearly involved in absolutely everything in these first 13 minutes. Two goals so far for Connor Metcalf with St. Pauli this season, most recently against Nuremberg. Jackson Irvine has got just the 1 goal so far this season. They currently sit 3 points ahead of another famous German club currently in the 2nd division. They just happen to be crosstown rivals, Hamburg. So what a battle that will be when those two meet in the derby for top spot. Duke has done brilliantly. Ball inside for Goodwin. Squares it. Green and gold shirts queuing up. Socceroos think that should have been a back pass. Now Goodwin, he's seeing a lot of the ball early. Looks up towards Metcalf. Miller with the overlapping run. Again, you can see the packed lines of white shirts. Mohamed Ridoy, the little slip. Well, that is one of the dangers when you're playing with the ball so deep, but the break is on again. Rahim, he's got Rakib at the back post. Rahim going it alone. Blocked by Burgess. And Miller is fouled.
Well, it's for him after really taunting, as it was the back two left by Australia, Sutar and Burgess. And with Fahim and Rakib, two very fast, good dribblers, attacking players at those retreating defenders. There was a possibility there for Bangladesh.
Flag up for offside against Brandon Borrello. Applauded down in front of us by Javier Cabrera, the coach of Bangladesh, who's encouraging his players with every block. We'll see here. Well, it's close, very close, but just a shoulder offside for Borrello. Launched long by Murad. Only finds Lewis Miller. From Burgess towards Duke.
You couldn't really say the Socceroos have settled, despite the fact that they'd scored that early goal from Harry Sutar. Was a very good one. Cabrera in the Bangladesh dugout will be very heartened by what his team's done. But you know, Australia have had a lot of ball, but the passing's been a bit, I don't know, unconvincing. What's the word, Robbie? Direct, overhit. They're not really playing with great fluency at the moment.
Perhaps a little too eager to impress in these early minutes. Possibly. Back home as well.
Yeah, that could be a big thing too. That's a good pickup. They've had good field position, players doing very well week to week. Clubland, the Socceroos themselves have been playing fantastic football. Just quite hasn't clicked into gear in the opening 15 here.
That's a ball over the top again. The flag up for offside against Borrello. Well, the last competitive match played in Australia was back in Sydney nearly 2 years ago now against Japan, the 2-0 defeat that sent Australia more or less into the playoffs to qualify. Mind you, World Cup playoffs are perhaps a thing of the past for the Socceroos now with the World Cup expanding. But even that very first qualification back in 1973, November 73, was a playoff match as well against South Korea. Jimmy Mackay getting the only goal after two previous matches. They couldn't be separated. A 1-0 victory in that final playoff match, sending the part-time Socceroos, as they were back then, under Rally Rasic, to a first ever World Cup. Defeats to the two Germanys, East and West, as it was back then. Times have certainly changed. And a draw with Chile. Only to have to wait another 32 years before the Socceroos returned in 2006. And despite some close calls, they haven't missed one since. Little dink over the top. That's a great run from Metcalf. Squares the ball. And Brandon Borrello. Well, it was lightning quick. Precision football. And Brandon Borrello has his second goal in green and gold.
Oh, that's more like it. It's a beautiful little ball over the top from Lewis Miller. And this is Connor Metcalf, all power and long stride, winning the ball in behind the back four of Bangladesh. It's the give and go. It's a beautiful stretch and great power from Connor Metcalf, and then a beautifully squared pass to Brandon Borrello, who just has to be there. Needs to time his run. Could have gone offside, but didn't. and then it's a tap in for 2-0. That's good football from Australia.
He's been waiting for that second goal. Brandon Borrello yet to find the back of the net with Western Sydney this season. One of the Socceroos that ply their trade in the local A-League here. Western Sydney have made a very good start to the season. Borrello too, without troubling the scorers himself so far. Here's Irvine. Metcalf, who provided that assist. Connor Metcalf's 12th match for the Socceroos, but just his second start on home soil. The first came in that match against Japan back in 2022, when Graham Arnold was under all sorts of pressure for his job with what was perceived to be a vastly underperforming Socceroos side then. What a turnaround that was with qualification during that incredible penalty shootout against Peru. Andrew Redmayne's antics between the posts, the stuff of legend. Fahim. It falls back to Sohail Rana. That's a good ball down the line. Bangladesh getting forward, the cross. The captain, Jamel, was lurking at the back post, but no pressure on Matt Ryan, who releases Craig Goodwin quickly. Perhaps now we'll see the Socceroos just put their foot on the ball a little bit more. Hit their passes, and the key, of course, will be to attack with speed and precision like they did for that second goal. Gorgeous. Good switch, but Miller has been caught there by Saad Uddin. Saad Uddin, one of the majority of these players who play for Bashundhara Kings in the Bangladesh Premier League. They've been champions the last 3 seasons in a row. They supply the majority of the national team players. Jackson Irvine. Free kick, short with Bacchus. The switch to Boss, now Goodwin. The cross in. Oh, look. The amount of green and gold at the back post, completely unmarked. The ball made a bit courtesy of a little push just before then.
Yeah, Burgess pinged by the referee for illegally interfering with the Bangladesh defence. Very good one, dropping the ball over. Look at the slew of Socceroos players. Harry Sutar's touch to control the ball, left a little bit to be desired.
Fahim with a clever little touch, but here's Jamal. Heavy touch. Falls Rakib. Fahim. Somehow they've still got the ball. Bangladesh. Jamal releasing Fahim down the right-hand side. Burgess keeps it in play. Clever little chest down from Duke. Goodwin with Metcalf. Miller overlapping. Duke wants it early through the middle. It doesn't come. Now Connor Metcalf. Cross in. Duke can't control, and Vishwanath. And Mitul Mama, the young goalkeeper. Socceroos again asking if that wasn't a back pass, even if it took a long time to actually end up in the goalkeeper's gloves. Poor pass from Vishwanath. Burgess again. Made his debut for Australia against Mexico back in June. I think it was September, that one. The quality friendly matches since the World Cup that the Socceroos have been playing. The likes of Argentina, Ecuador and Mexico, world number 12. First time ball for Borrello, early cross. Mitul just palming the ball away from his goal. Here's Burgess again, arrived in Australia, in Perth at the age of 11. Goodwin, the cross, great ball, brilliant stop. It should be 3-0, and Brandon Borrello should have his second of the night.
And Craig Goodwin should be able to point to his second assist of the night. Beautiful curl on that ball. It was just perfect delivery. And Brandon Borrello running in at full steam. Hits it straight at the keeper. Half a yard. Or in the metric system, Robbie, half a metre either side.
Which is just a little bit more than half a yard.
And he gets his second. That's a nice play from Australia. I tell you, and this is by no way to discredit Bangladesh, but they're having the dickens of the time maintaining Connor Metcalf and Lewis Miller from the right midfield, which is basically where Connor Metcalf is operating out to the right flank. That combination has just got so... They're two V8s just coming at you the whole time.
Flags up for offside against Mitchell Duke. There are the possession statistics. 27 minutes in. Over 3/4 of the ball has been monopolised by Graham Arnold's men. Mitchell Duke, who got that goal against Tunisia, of course, that arguably, well, every goal at a World Cup is important, but after that coming undone against France, it was such an important match. He got the goal, Matt Leckie got the goal against Denmark, and Australia were through. Under a little bit of pressure there. Matt Ryan dealing with it, big switch of play. Goodwin is always going to try and just out-muscle Bishwanath, but the referee was keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, it's a good call from the ref. It's a foul. And Craig Goodwin, who's more annoyed with the ball coming at such a height than he was with the referee's decision. In the sense is if we can keep the ball on the ground, I think we can get a lot more out of this game. Doing well after... It's too strong, Robbie, to say it was an unconvincing opening quarter hour, but I think it is fair to say that the team didn't look that settled. It was... I think you summed it up nicely. Probably a lot of nervous energy going into this first game at home in so long. You know, less than a quarter of Graham Arnold's matches as a Socceroos coach have been at home.
9 of 44.
Yeah, very torturous qualifying campaign on the road last time because of COVID. And having got that out of their system now, perhaps they're looking, to me at least, a lot more settled. They should have scored that third goal. They'll keep going like this. There will be more goals to enjoy from the green and gold. But I will say, for Bangladesh already, compared to 2015, the last time we saw them in the flesh in a World Cup qualifier, they're offering a lot more. They're having a go. They're trying to play it from the back. There's certainly got a little bit of danger in Fahid and Rakib up front. So they've made their progress as well, which is very pleasing to see.
Well, 14 of this Bangladeshi side were in the under-23 Asian Games last month, where they lost a couple of matches by 1-0, including an own goal, single goal defeat to Myanmar. But they also drew 0-0 with China in that tournament at under-23 level. So Coach Cabrera keeping his faith with many of that squad who are here. But he's under no illusions that there's still a massive gulf in class between them and the Socceroos. Managed managed to get it clear, but only as far as Bacchus. Here's Boss with Goodwin again. Little 1-2 with Geordie Boss. But they're fighting for everything. It was Ridoy who came flying out in the challenge. Metcalf. Again, being pressured in midfield. The Socceroos not being allowed to just walk the ball all the way to the Bangladeshi penalty box. They've actually caught the Socceroos offside 3 times as well. As Boss accelerates, does that nicely, looks up and crosses. Cleared again by the number 17. Sohail Murad. Ooh. Strong from Geordie Boss. The Bangladeshi bench didn't like it, as Mujibur Johnny was sent tumbling. Miller's cross. And more desperate defending.
Well, don't mess with me.
Shoulder on shoulder.
Yeah, completely legal. And this has been a feature. Lewis Miller getting forward. Hasn't quite got one of those crosses nailed yet, but looking very, very likely.
Very Goodwin applauding the support down in that corner. 32 minutes gone. Corner for the Socceroos, and we know how dangerous a threat they certainly pose from these set pieces. We've already seen Harry Suter head one home. We know the quality of Craig Goodwin's delivery as well. And it comes, the header just over. Cam Burgess, I think it was, who had a great chance there.
Yeah, it's a wicked curl again from Craig Goodwin, and it's Bacchus gone really, really closely there from Bacchus. What a talk about players with an enormous future. Robbie on Bacchus. One of the key things I took out of that fantastic Socceroos performance against England was just how well Bacchus did against those top-tier, basically English Premier League players. And before and since against Argentina, magnificent. And his career is really on the precipice. You know, I think it mightn't be long before he gets picked up by one of the big leagues, because he is flying at the moment, Bacchus.
He currently plays his football for St Mirren in Scotland, where they're having a very good season, in 3rd place at the moment, behind the perennial 2, Rangers and Celtic leading the way. Boss has done that nicely. Duke back out with Goodwin. Can't hit Geordie Boss though. And Barella just bungling over Sohail Rana. Saad's ball up the flank. Back with Murad. Sohail Rana. Now with Tariq. The number 14 for Bangladesh, along with Jamal, the only other player born and raised outside of Bangladesh, of Bangladeshi descendant. Dad Bangladeshi, mum Finnish. Actually played for Finland at under 17 and under 19 level. Did the central defender Tariq Kazi. Suter with Miller. Barello. because Metcalf made a run into the box that time. It's well defended again by Murad. We knew the Socceroos would pose an aerial threat. They've had one headed goal. They could have had two more. As Borrello can't bring the ball down. Rakib, who was very lively in the first couple of minutes, is now just trying to control his efforts a little more.
Well, I also think as time passes in this game, those energetic efforts from Bangladesh are going to become fewer and fewer, just because they find it very, very difficult to keep up physically with the Socceroos, who will increasingly dominate this match, one would expect. But interesting the way the Aussies have lined up. In one sense, Robbie, a little bit of a lopsided formation. Craig Goodwin basically is staying very wide as a left winger, which is to some extent negating Geordie Boss getting forward. Whereas on the other side of the field, Brandon Borrello's coming in to play twin centre forwards with now Mitch Duke, and that's leaving the right completely free for Lewis Miller, who's taking full advantage.
Here they come again, and it is Goodwin who crosses again. Duke, a little glancing header. Miller is there with Metcalf. He dinks the ball back in. Great header, Mitch Duke. What a story. Mitch Duke, from the young man working 3 jobs in Sydney and travelling up on $700 a month to play for the Central Coast Mariners, to being the main man at the helm of the Socceroos attack. 11 goals now in green and gold. And again, that threat in the air.
Yeah, well, it was just a little dink, a tasty, tempting dink from Connor Metcalf, and used his body brilliantly to earn the space, Mitch Duke, and the header was quite brilliant, really. He's very good in the air, Mitch Duke. He's good on the ground as well, but he does some great things with the ball coming in these sorts of contests. It's a wonderful header to make it 3-0. No chance of Harry Sutar getting that goal off him.
With reference to the opening goal against New Zealand in the Anzac Soccer Ashes, which the Socceroos won in England last month. That famous trophy that had been missing for so many years, found and immediately competed for between the Socceroos and the All Whites, and it was Mitch Duke who volleyed the ball into the net, and it just deflected off the front of Harry Sutar, who didn't know too much about it but claimed the goal for himself. Perhaps we should say that's goal number 12, not goal number 11 for Mitch Duke. He's looking forward to being back in the Japanese top flight next season. Boss, good ball, back post, cleared. Borrello, first time off the post, played back in, and Mitch Duke at the double. 2 goals in 2.5 minutes. And all of a sudden, the scoreline is starting to look very comfortable indeed for the Socceroos.
It was a good hit from Brandon Borrello on the edge of the box. Geordie Boss doing beautifully. No hint of offside. The headed clearance was ineffective, and it fell to Brandon Borrello, who makes really good contact instinctively. Good volley that. And just right place, right time. No particular design in that, but a nicely controlled touch, it should be said, from Mitch Duke to earn his 2nd for the night and Australia's 4th.
And this will be exactly what Graham Arnold wanted. Heading into the break, the opportunity to make certain changes now. We have two debutants in the squad. As Duke was looking for the little flick. It's cleared only as far as Metcalf. Now Irvine deflected. And that's a very good stop from Metul.
Well, wasn't it an excellent save from the young keeper? It had a bit on it from Jackson Irvine. In its own right, a tough one to save, but the deflection from short range really tested him. Outstanding from the goalkeeper. Australia looking to push on.
Goodwin delivers again. That time it was Cam Burgess with the ball bouncing around. And he'll be looking forward to getting that first Socceroos goal. He said there's lots of family here who have travelled over from Perth. Metcalf. Wide for Miller. Gets down to the byline. Well defended by Saad, who turns it out for a corner. Plenty of kids in attendance this evening. All out in green and gold. You can see their love for the game. Don't forget that there's the Mini Roos programme from Football Australia, just to get the kids out on the pitch and playing. Search Mini Roos on the internet to find a programme near you. Just saw the sign from Craig Goodwin there. It was relayed by Burgess in the middle. So this is the set move. Let's see how this looks. It's a good ball. It was towards the players falling in the box. Bacchus claims that he was manhandled. Bangladesh managed to get the ball clear. Miller fouled again by Fahim, who tried to apologise. Lewis Miller not too interested.
We got him before as well. Fahim, he's courting danger. He gets the look. Second time tonight from Miller, who then pulls his head in and walks away. I don't know if I'd be biting off that if it was Fahim.
Borello. Flag up for offside. It was Miller coming back from an offside position. Graham Arnold, who was mentioned in the lead-up to this clash, because the Asian Cup is coming up in January, February next year, which the Socceroos will be looking to win for just the second time in their history. After 2015 on home soil. There was Goodwin and Duke with the pincer movement, closing down from both sides. Can't win it back though. Bishwanath. Ball looking for Rakib. In fact, it was Fahim making that run all the way across. But he's without a couple of promising young players in Riley McGree and Nathaniel Atkinson, who are both missing with injury at the moment. Matt Leckie, who actually played the last time these sides met back in 2015, was on the score sheet as well, Matt Leckie. Mas Longo was there as well, Jackson Irvine. So a few of the Socceroos will remember playing against Bangladesh. Bosses ball in to the back post. Here's Connor Metcalf. Saved again by Mitul.
Beautiful ball from Geordie Boss. He made good ground there. It's a nice clean strike from Connor Metcalf. And Mitul is doing his own reputation. No damage at all here tonight. Young goalkeeper, 19 years of age. And not culpable for any of the four that have gone in, and is cleanly responsible for making sure 2 or 3 others haven't.
Matt Ryan, who's been a spectator for much of the first half, coming right out 35, 40 yards out from his own goal to see a little bit of the action. That's a nice turn. Metcalf straightens up. Metcalf still going. Fires the ball just over the crossbar.
Well, his starting position in midfield is a very aggressive one, and Bacchus found him with a beautiful angled ball. And as he receives the ball facing forward, he's already done half his job, Connor Metcalf. And then he takes 5, 6, 7, 8 powerful strides towards goal and hammers the ball. It's very, very difficult to deal with Connor Metcalf. Set up nicely by the very positive pass out of midfield from Bacchus.
Bishwanath back with Tariq, closed down, goal kick. There is Tariq Kazi. That's the Finnish born and raised Bangladeshi defender who was just trying to give a few more instructions and directions to his less experienced teammate, but the half-time whistle has blown before the goal kick. A great start for the Socceroos, ahead after just 4 minutes. Harry Sutar on the score sheet. Brandon Borrello added goal number 2, could have had a couple more before Mitchell Duke did get a quick fire brace 5 minutes before half-time. And the Socceroos, who begin their journey to the 2026 World Cup in their opening qualifying match, lead Bangladesh at half-time at Amy Park by 4-0. And we'll head off to a quick break before we're back with Tara and the boys with all the half-time analysis.
The 3-year journey to the 2026 World Cup begins here tonight at Amy Park. And what a start, what a beginning it has been for the men in green and gold. 4-0 the score at half-time. Goals, of course, to Harry Sutar, to Brandon Borrello, and Mitchell Duke with 2 in 2.5 minutes. And the crowd have absolutely loved every single moment they have seen so far. Welcome back to the halftime show. I'm Tara Rushton. Great to have your company and to be joined by Alex Brosk and Archie Thompson. We have enjoyed every single minute. We're going to take a look at those highlights yet again. The only thing that's missing, really, team, it's 4 goals to the good. We could have seen potentially 8 goals to the good.
And look, I think we probably will by the end of the game, but I think it started so well. You know, we spoke about, how set pieces would be important, and the first goal comes off a beautiful delivery by Craig Goodwin onto the head of the big man, Harry Sutar. Perfect header, and had us underway. Any potential nerves that might have been, they go away the moment this hits the back of the net. You're up 1-0, you know you're going to control the game. And from there, it was just quality football, Arch.
Yeah, and Metcalf, those powerful runs. I think it was Miller that played that ball in behind, but Borrello needed to stay alert. I remember the game against New Zealand in their last friendly game. He missed in a similar position. I tell you what, he wasn't missing there, but Connor Metcalf, just an incredible half.
Great run, great ball, and the delivery kept coming. I mean, Mitch Duke for his double, the first one here, he actually won the header to flick it out wide initially. It comes back in, and he's always taking up good areas. He uses his body well, and great presence of mind to flick it over the keeper's head.
And this again, Boss taking players on, trying to get deliveries, and a wonderful strike from the edge of the box. But as a striker, you always want to stay alert, and then he was there too. And I tell you what, in games like this, when you get a taste of goals, especially against an opposition like this, you know you're up for your possibility for a hat-trick. So he stayed alert there.
You get the feeling that the floodgates will well and truly open come the second half. I mean, we could potentially end up in double digits. Taking a look at the match stats there, you can just see the absolute dominance of this Socceroos side. And yes, all the players, that attack down the right-hand side has looked so crisp tonight, with Connor Metcalf, with Brandon Borrello, with Mitchie Duke floating around centrally and out to the side as well. So what does happen, team, in the second half? Graham Arnold has a great opportunity to bring on some players and see what they're made of. We're going to take a look at the Subway subs. Who are you bringing on to make an impact, Alex Brosk?
Well, for me, I'd like to see a young boy like Cassini Yengi come on and get some minutes. I think he's been doing fantastic in Portsmouth over in England, and to see him come back off the back of the goals he's been scoring over there and the form he's in, just to give him that extra bit of confidence being around this squad, get him on and get him some goals.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing Samuel Severa. I'd love to, you know, just with this game being so open and attacking, I'd love to see his flair up front and to get some goals.
I've got a feeling that Jamie McLaren might be making his way onto the park in the second half. All right, do not go anywhere. We're off to a short break as we inch closer to the second half between the Socceroos and Bangladesh. They're up 4-0.
Welcome back to Amy Park, where the Socceroos are sitting pretty. 4-0 lead over Bangladesh at halftime in this first World Cup qualifier. John Aloisi is here on the sideline alongside me. Johnny, Connor Metcalf at Clubland playing on the right of a front three, and we are seeing those attacking skills come to the fore tonight.
Yeah, he's getting into great positions. He's coming inside into midfield quite a bit, and he's leaving space for Miller to overlap. And what he's doing, he's combining really well out there on the right. He can also get in behind. He can... he likes to come inside on his left foot. You see all the assists that he's creating. And when he does come inside, he's able to create shooting opportunities. And you see here, this is what they're doing really well on the right side. You see every time they attack there, it seems like they're going to create at least an opportunity, if not a goal. And there's another assist that he's made. And his shooting qualities with his left foot. He really gets into the box well, and I've been really impressed with the way he's going.
Arnie said in the lead-up he wanted to see some of that backyard football. He wanted to see the tricks. He wanted to see the flicks. As we get ever so slightly wet here on the sideline at Amy Park. Is that exactly what you've seen in the first half?
Yeah, we have. It's been a good performance, and I think the floodgates will open even more so in the second half. They've been attacking really well, and we expect more goals.
The floodgates are open, the sprinklers are open, and kick-off in the second half here at Amy Park is just 1 minute away.
Welcome back to Amy Park then. We can see both sides are out on the field of play, and Graham Arnold, with things going perfectly well as they are, is bringing the changes. We'll have confirmation of all of those in a moment. The Socceroos leading by 4-0 at half-time. And a couple more local Melbourne boys getting onto the field for this competitive return to action on home soil. What a sight, Amy Park from the air here on the land of the Wurundjeri people. 3 changes at half-time for the Socceroos, who are leading by 4-0. Maswongo, who played in the match 8 years ago now, was in the starting 11. He's come on at half-time. Now back in the Socceroos fixtures, as is Bajic and Jamie McLaren, 2 Melbourne City players whose home ground is right here at Amy Park. Come on as well. Mitch Duke, who got a double in the first half, has made way. So has Craig Goodwin, with Geordie Boss moving a little higher up the pitch. And Jackson Irvine is the other player who has made way at half-time for Graham Arnold's side. And Andy Harper, we're hoping changes don't disrupt the tempo of the Socceroos, who grew in to that half handball against Metcalf, but goals are to be had here this evening.
Yeah, they'll be full of intent. I'm sure that was the message at half-time, to keep pushing, keep the foot down, and to make sure we maintain the rate through the second half. The signs are that the players are responding in kind. Looking forward to seeing particularly Maslawongo, the changes off the bench. We haven't seen him much in recent years, but at all in recent years as a Socceroo, just making his way back in now. Let's not forget, he was the player of the tournament when Australia won the Asian Cup in 2015, scored that memorable goal in the final. And it's a particular pleasure to be in the same stadium as Maslawongo and watching him play for his country again.
Confirmation of those changes. Yeah, Maslawongo, who's having a fantastic run with Ipswich Town alongside his compatriot Cam Burgess at the back. It's Craig Goodwin who's made way. Burgess is still out there. So 2 Ipswich Town players and a Leicester City man. So the top of the English Championship are out there at the moment. Maslawongo is leading many of the statistics for Ipswich Town that you'd expect. Tackles, passes in that defensive midfield role.
And Geordie Boss has moved to left wing to replace Craig Goodwin as his badge comes in at left fullback.
He's been playing as a left wing back in Belgium with his club Westerlo, who have managed to turn around their terrible start to the season. Will they have enough time to climb out of the bottom places? Because the Belgian league is one of those European leagues which has broken with tradition. It splits into 3 separate categories in about 3 months' time, and has the top half of the table playing off for the championship. The middle third, and here is Boss on the attack. McLaren is there. The flag stays down. Must have been close. Well, the Socceroos opened the scoring 4 minutes into the first half, and they've added goal number 5 4 minutes into the second as well through Jamie McLaren, the substitute.
Well, J-Mac must have been thinking, I've seen this all before. Just last season, in fact, with Geordie Boss streaking down the left-hand side, firing the ball to the centre for Jamie McLaren, who on that first replay looked like it might have gone offside. But no VAR in these World Cup qualifiers. So no stoppage. It's up to the match officials to decide live if it's legal or not. As they said, yes, it is. So the J-Mac helps himself.
The all-time leading scorer in the Isuzu Ute A-League. He got a double on the weekend in a thrilling 3-3 draw between Melbourne City and MacArthur. And he's on the score sheet in green and gold now. Jamie McLaren, his 9th goal for the national team. Boss again. Bajic. Luongo making the run. Geordie Boss. Oh, lovely quick feet. Geordie Boss. Almost still going. Bajic arrived as reinforcements. And now is there a break on? There's a hand there from Bacchus. Tarek Kazi up the line for Jamal Bhuyan, the captain of this Bangladesh side, goes again for the return ball into the area, stays on his feet. I mentioned his amazing backstory. It's a wonder he's playing football at all. When he was 15, coming home from school in Copenhagen, he was caught in the middle of a gang war, woke up in hospital 3 days later with 4 bullet holes in him. The Bangladesh number 6, one which just missed his heart, He just signed for FC Copenhagen, who football fans may have noticed just beat Manchester United in the Champions League. Well, this is going back a little while, but he spent a year in hospital, 12 operations, and now he's here leading the country of his parents in a World Cup qualifier. He's the most capped Bangladeshi footballer of all time, earning his 80th cap this evening. A fantastic tribute to his determination and love of football as well, to give it absolutely everything. He had no feeling in his right arm after a year. Doctors said, we're going to have to take nerves out of your feet to put them back into your arm, and he said, you don't touch my legs. I still aim to play football. Inspirational story. There's Lewis Miller wins the throw. He got stepped on by Saad. He's been in the wars a little bit, Miller, in this match so far. Nice turn, Metcalf. Looks up, crosses, too high, too far for Geordie Boss. Now, with the result of this one, more or less, I think we can safely say, beyond doubt, Andy Harper. Graham Arnold, without looking ahead to other matches, will certainly be looking for his players to keep going, work certain things and prepare. As that ball comes in, the header away, cleared as far as Metcalf again, blocked. McLaren is there, the follow-up. Brandon Barella was there too, lurking. He wanted goals as well, but Graham Arnold will want there to be absolutely no let-off here in the second half. He'll want to put Bangladesh to the sword. That ball bouncing off Ridoy and out of play, so the Socceroos have it back again immediately with Cam Burgess. Luongo. Conor Metcalf and Lewis Miller are standing out in acres of space on this right-hand side. Here it comes from Luongo. Miller and Bacchus, a little misunderstanding there. Matt Ryan had to be alert. Ball up the line again. Boss, so much pace and power. Saad is there to clear, and you can see the frustration for the likes of Brandon Barello. Certainly know on a personal level there's a chance to do your statistics the world of good this evening if you're in the right place at the right time.
Sure, yellow card there for Bacchus. It's one thing that Graham Arnold won't be wanting is players to be picking up yellow cards. From this point on, of course, the cumulative impact of yellow cards can bite you later in the tournament, the qualifying process, and playing well and sitting comfortably on the scoreboard, there's no need to be picking up those penalties.
Jamie McLaren maybe a different profile physically to Mitch Duke, but he does offer one similarity, which he will be that first line of defence. He will run himself into the ground for the team. He will sacrifice himself, spare no effort in closing down opposition players. Turn again. Jordi Boss, nicely done with Bajic now. Luongo. All the way across here with Connor Metcalf. Miller opening up on the right-hand side. Early cross was a good one. And very well defended by Murad.
Yeah, Murad's done very well tonight, cutting off those passes, particularly from Lewis Miller. And the goalkeeper, Mitchell, has done brilliantly here. This is a stinger. It's so much power, but look at the movement on the ball. The goalkeeper really has done fabulously here tonight. Connor Metcalf's got a goal or two in him tonight, you'd reckon, as well. This one will be blown up. Ref needs to have a chat with players interfering and pushing. That's the finish of that, he says.
It looks like they've got 3 players on Harry Suter there.
Still not tall enough. Look at him. I mean, that's just not a fair fight.
Short this time. Bajic finds Miller. Across. Blocked by Fahim. As is Bajic again. The cross in is a good one. The defensive header. Just about, and now the break on perhaps for Bangladesh. Jamal. And there you see what I was talking about. It's Jamie McLaren tracking back, blocking that crossfield ball, forcing the turnover for the Socceroos, and now the home side are back on the front foot. Bacchus. Miller wants it. Bacchus has spotted him. Metcalf. Bacchus again. That's a great ball. Miller, lovely control. Drives it across towards McLaren. Luongo was there. Fahim and Saad bring it away. Rakib. It falls nicely for Johnny. Sohail Rana. Down the left-hand side. Met by Muller, and triple change coming now for Bangladesh. The number 2, Sakil Hossain, comes into defence. That's a straight swap with Hassan Murad. He started the last 2 matches against the Maldives. Did the 21-year-old Sakil Hossain. Rakib is also making way, and so is the captain Jamal. Rafiqul and Rabiul, the 2 players coming on in the middle of the park. Rafiqul, who only made his debut this year against Cambodia. Rabiul, a little bit more experience, scored 3 goals in World Cup qualifying for Qatar 2022.
Well, very interesting save from Cabrera. 3 taken off. Clearly 3 of the better players performing tonight. Murad at the back, I thought, outstanding around his 6-yard box, really. Consider the pressure they're under. The skipper you've spoken about at length, and nicely so, Robbie. You lose a lot of your team's personality when a captain like that leaves the field. And Rakib up front, dangerous little player. Certainly on the evidence of the opening quarter hour. So see if those changes are to energise the team or to keep those 3 particular players a little bit fresher for more matches down the track on the next match day, which is just a few days away.
Well, that's right, when the Socceroos travel to Kuwait to take on Palestine. Bangladesh will be in action against Lebanon. Australia's trip to Bangladesh is not until June 2024. Lebanon and Palestine, the other 2 countries in this group. All in, Palestine's matches will be played in Kuwait for the moment anyway. Certainly the Socceroos match will be played there. Miller looks up, crosses, McLaren. What about leaving it for Borrello? It was cleared. Back with Sakil. The substitute at the back, and the new man up front, Rafiqul Islam, just 19 years of age. Another that played in the Asian Games last month. Miller showed too much of that to Saad, but Saad was more interested in the imposing Miller arriving at speed than the ball. In the end, they get away with the goal kick.
Has had some great possession down there, good opportunities. And he's kept going, Lewis Miller. And he might have made more of a couple of the more recent attempts down there, penetrations, nice space. Set up to deliver the ball, just couldn't navigate the defenders.
Rabiul, the other substitute, looking up the line. And changes coming for the Socceroos as well. Now, last few matches for the Socceroos being friendlies, there's been up to 6 changes made, as here they come again with Bajic. McLaren, in the end, just helping it on its way. It was too far behind him to get a clean shot away.
Yeah, and Graham Arnold will be a little frustrated with a bit of sloppiness that's in the front, the attacking penalty area at the moment. The lead-up's good. That ball through from Masloongo was a peach. But the delivery into the box, not quite there.
Miller for Metcalf. Another of those runs. He's been grabbed by Saad, and the referee's assistant from Uzbekistan on this near side says that's worth a free kick.
It's another searching run out of midfield. A lot to do. Lewis Miller looked to reward that run, and a lot to do from there, Connor Metcalf. The help of that free kick puts Australia in the box seat again. Burgess and Sutar on or about the 6-yard box. Sutar will have 3 like barnacles on him.
They are literally double marking the 2 big central defenders. Burgess has the same. You can see him just there, look. It's like dancing with 2 dance partners at the ball. Metcalf, that left boot goes short, it's well worked. There's a fair bit of holding on there towards Masloongo. Bangladesh managed to bring it away. Harry Sutar bundling over the man that's inherited the captain's armband, Sohail Rana, the 28-year-old.
Well, the 2 big guys were taken care of, and Masloongo was being marked very, very tightly. The substitute Rabiul on, leaving his mark.
Not an easy one, and very nicely dealt with. Wasn't quite Rene Higuita's style, but it wasn't far away from Mitul, the young Bangladesh goalkeeper. Now Rabiul. Fahim. Good challenge, Miller. And the tackles are flying in. Miller not taking a backward step. Substitution for the Socceroos. A 4th made with 25 minutes left to play, and it's Bacchus who makes way. Keanu Bacchus, replaced by Aidan O'Neill, plays his football like Jordi Boss in Belgium with Standard Liège. Here's Metcalf. Famous club Standard Liège with fanatical supporters. They got a great win over Anderlecht, the old rival this season, but it's been celebrations few and far between for Aidan O'Neill's Standard Liège so far this season. Sutar with Burgess. Luongo. Aidan O'Neill, first touch for him, another former Melbourne City player in this Socceroos side. Miller with Metcalf. The cross in, over McLaren. Bajic has done brilliantly to keep that in play. As is Bajic, who's 32. When the World Cup comes around, he'll be 35 years of age. Jordy Boss is one that's earmarked to succeed, as is Bajic, in that left-back role. They're sharing the left flank in this second half. Luongo does that nicely. Miller again. Low cross, cleared by Sakil.
Lewis is getting a little frustrated as well now. Just can't quite get the ball beyond that first defender at the 6-yard box. It's persevering, making great strides and getting into some very, very good positions.
Metcalf's ball, back post. A header over. Well, 2024 promises to be a big year for the Subway Socceroos, and for you watching at home, young football fans, sign up to a football account. That way you'll receive all the updates into your inbox. You'll get early access to tickets and discounts as well. So if it's happening in green and gold, you'll know all about it. Head to footballaustralia.com.au and search football account, sign up and become part of the team. Now, are we going to see a Socceroos debut this evening? It's unlikely to be Ashley Maynard-Brewer, the Charlton Athletic goalkeeper. But we could see Kusini Yengi, whose dad is in the crowd, travelled from Africa, where Kusini Yengi hails from. Now plays his football for Portsmouth. And he's been amongst the goals as well, mostly off the bench, as it has been. Portsmouth, who are currently top of League One, that's the English third division these days, but he's got a couple of goals in the cup as well. Kusini Yengi. That's a nice turn from Luongo. The cutback for Borrello. And again, the head in the hands for Brandon Borrello.
Clever from Luongo. Just a beautiful little touch around the corner of the defender. And then the awareness to angle the ball back to find Borrello. Beautiful from Luongo. 2 touches. Opened the defence and created an attacking chance.
The corner in, the headers again were there, and it was Burgess and Luongo getting in each other's way, I think. Oh, how about the feet from Jordy Boss? Now Sutar, back for Luongo. His shot, palmed out only as far as McLaren. And that's 6. Jamie McLaren at the double. Well, he missed the last Socceroos call-up, probably knowing Jamie McLaren, because he said, my wife's about to give birth to our first child, the daughter's been born. And he can now celebrate that with a couple of goals in green and gold.
Well, the initial damage was done by Jordy Boss with a beautiful slalom-like run through midfield. Luongo's effort was angled and dangerous. And Jamie McLaren just shows the value of following in. You never know when the crumbs are going to fall at your feet, which they did then, to give him his 2nd for Australia tonight and the team's 6th.
Well, he plays his football here. He played in Scotland, played in Germany. Jamie McLaren, he finished his youth training in England with Blackburn after leaving Australia as a youngster. So many of these Socceroos have those stories of travelling the world, trying everything to make the breakthrough. As here they're back on the front foot. And he's now probably just a matter of matches away of becoming the first ever A-League player to score 100 goals for his club. Our very own Archie Thompson went close, 90 for Melbourne victory. I think Jamie's now on 96 with Melbourne City, so it won't be long now given his strike rate. Golden Boot the last 4 A-League seasons in a row. Borello, who's back after a few seasons in Germany, playing with Western Sydney. Wongo with Boss. The cross back in is a good one. McLaren flags up for offside. Wouldn't have counted. And I can tell you we are going to have a Socceroo debut this evening as well. Brandon Borello making way. And Socceroo cap number 638, Cassini Yengi, comes in. What a proud moment for the Portsmouth striker. And the change for Bangladesh as well, with Fahim making way for Sheikh Morsalin. Just 17 years of age, already 3 goals in 7 caps for the young number 7. Got his first goal in the Bangladeshi Premier League at just 15 years of age, Morsalin. He's been fast-tracked into the national team. Oh, there's a foul there. Saad through the back of Miller, and Miller not happy. Uzbeki referee with a yellow card for Saad.
Well, it's the 3rd time he's been caught tonight. That was the naughtiest of them. And Lewis Miller.
3rd yellow card of the evening from Akrol Rizguleyev, the Uzbeki referee, who Cassini Yengi might remember. He's only refereed Australia once. It was the under-23s in last year's under-23 Asian Cup. He sent Cassini Yengi off after 17 minutes. The match that finished 1-1 against Iraq, otherwise known for Alu Qual's quite remarkable goal. The ball in is a good one, the header. Ooh. And Connor Metcalf, in fact, was it Geordie Boss with the header? Close to his first goal.
Well, been pretty wasteful, all things said. I mean, you don't want to sound greedy at 6-0. Completely dominant performance. A little bit wasteful on some occasions. Geordie Boss there probably should have done better.
Well, plenty of fans for the Melburnian back home as well. Sakil under pressure from Cassini Yengi. Metcalf strong in the challenge with Saad, but the throw goes Bangladesh's way. Mentioned how fans can get their football account. Clubs can also get involved. As here come the Socceroos again. Metcalf down the right-hand side. The pass in for Luongo. More than 400 clubs are already part of Club Changer, Football Australia's club development program. Register your club today for some amazing benefits and rewards. It's all on footballaustralia.com.au/Club Changer. So Graham Arnold has made his 5 changes permitted in a competitive FIFA football match. Cassini Yengi, the most recent of those. Socceroos have had 22 shots to 1, as there are a couple more words. Johnny and Bajic. Let's see if we can see a little bit more here, there, where the ball is. Well, it looked as though, watch this, Johnny comes in, grabs him around the arms, or just giving him a big hug.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, it was hosed down pretty quickly. Johnny realised pretty quickly how much trouble he might have been in. As his Bajic diffused it as well. I mean, he stood his ground. There might have been a worse reaction from another player as he's dealt with that. Referee came in and called things off, and Australia go away again.
The marauding Miller down this right-hand side. The cross in, just popping it up, but too close to the keeper. Well, he was tired of driving them low along the ground, Lewis Miller. Looked higher, but in the end that was a comfortable one for the Bangladeshi keeper, who gets it again from Sakil. Tariq Kazi turns away from Yengi. That was nicely done, coolly done at the back. Now Sohail Rani. Beyond Morselen. Rafiqul. Burgess. With Bajic. O'Neill. We talk about those new Socceroos that are making their way in green and gold. Aidan O'Neill, Joe Gauci, who's on the bench this evening, Geordie Boss, Cam Burgess, Sam Silvera, who's on the bench, Lewis Miller at right back, and Alessandro Cercati as well, who's part of this squad, all earning their Socceroos debuts in 2023. Well, that's nicely done. Boss again, still full of running. McLaren, oh! I think it's been blocked by Cassini Yengi. His own teammate McLaren can't believe it, a hat-trick at the begging, denied by his teammate.
Yeah, great speed, great burst from Geordie Boss, finds McLaren nicely again. That's a tried and tested formula, that one. And in fairness to Cassini, it had another pair of legs to get through as well. It did hit Cassini Yengi's legs first, but there was a Bangladesh defender immediately behind.
Bajic able to turn, straighten up. Yengi just wanted a moment too long on the ball. Rafiqul headed back instead of forwards, and the Socceroos have it again. Here, that was Graham Arnold screaming at Harry Souttar, saying Geordie Boss for the big switch of play. Bajic has done that nicely. Cassini Yengi's in the middle. Well, he was behind a forest of players again there. Yengi lurking at the back post.
And again, it's been a theme of the night. You know, it's been Australia, Australia, Australia. But when it's come to it, the central defence of Bangladesh around the 6-yard box have done their job well. I mean, it's crazy to say that, perhaps when you're losing 6-0, but how much more might it have been had they not been on their job? There's a penalty. No.
Referee saying the contact on Bajic not enough to warrant a penalty from Morselen. Cleared, but only as far as O'Neill. Longo inside and out, as is Bajic. Feeling hard done by Connor Metcalf. He's going to get through, in theory, the 90 minutes, barring injury here. Here he goes again. Metcalf with Miller. Oh, another foul as he just ran in to Saad.
Well, as his Baich threw in on goal. Seen this a bit in the last few weeks. I don't know if the defender's necessarily entitled to reach out like that, Robbie, is it?
Well, he certainly had a nibble, didn't he?
Yeah.
Morcelin.
I mean, you know, why are defenders allowed to get away with that? I'm with you, Azaz. Aghast.
Would you prefer a little VAR to have had a look at that handicap?
No, make the call on the spot.
Here's O'Neill. Metcalf with Miller. Is there time for the Socceroos in the last 10 or so minutes of this one to try and get another goal or two, perhaps for a player on debut in Cassini Yengi, or another that has never scored in green and gold? That man knows what it's all about. Graham Arnold scored 19 times for the Socceroos in 56 appearances as a player. Captained his country as well. Took over from Guus Hiddink after the 2006 World Cup. Probably says he shouldn't have, given his lack of experience at that time. But it was a difficult interim period, a very steep learning curve, but it's got him to the position he is today, the longest ever serving Socceroos coach, ahead of his old Socceroos teammate Frank Farina. Suta under pressure. Raficul, the substitute, trying to get away, but you see the power and speed of Aidan O'Neill. Bangladesh are still fighting for everything. Here's Miller again. The cross in. McLaren this time is there for his hat-trick. Well, what a moment for Jamie McLaren. A hat-trick in green and gold for the A-League's all-time leading scorer. And what a way to cap off a prolific night for the Socceroos at Amy Park.
Well, Aidan O'Neill finding Lewis Miller, who finally beats those retreating defenders. It's a beautiful ball laid on from Lewis Miller at right fullback. And Jamie McLaren just on autopilot. Into the danger zone with a deft touch to bag another goal. 3 for the night in his hometown.
International goals 9, 10 and 11 for the new dad. Jamie McLaren, who made his debut against England back in 2016 for the Socceroos. He's already got 3 and 4 this season as Metcalf drives it in. Looking for McLaren again.
Well, speaking of autopilot, I think Connor Metcalf hit that as well, reprising Melbourne City days, but he actually might have been a little better off to hesitate a fraction and find Cassini Yengi, who peeled off, made a beautiful little space for himself.
The final substitution coming for Bangladesh. Vishwanath makes way. The only Hindu player in the Bangladeshi side. As it's there, Burgess. Can he get a first Socceroos goal? Everyone hacking away under 6 styles in the penalty box. And Bajic, sticking to the theme, sends it over the end line.
With a big kick.
Well, Vishwanath Cam Burgess can't believe he still doesn't have a goal. It's Rahmat Mia, the 23-year-old captain of the Bangladesh under-23s, who's come into the game wearing the number 3 jersey.
Sitting just off the pack then was an expectant and hopeful Cassini Yengi. I thought, I'll take a leaf out of Jamie McLaren's book and I'll just hover and let's hope a ball bounces out here. But there was just too many legs and too much fury.
Well, surely it's going to happen. We've got so many players out there looking for their first ever Socceroos goal. So many of this new brigade, as is Bajic, isn't one of them. He's got 2 in his long career in green and gold. They both came in the one match against Chinese Taipei. Free kick for Bangladesh. Maswongo, as you mentioned, Andy Harper, knows all about scoring in green and gold. One of the most famous goals, certainly at a continental level, if not a World Cup level. Saad down the sideline, rides the challenge of Metcalf into Rafiqul. He was looking for the little flick. And Matt Ryan with something to do in his own 6-yard box. It's been just the one shot in the match from Bangladesh, and that wasn't on target. Against 25 shots at goal for the Socceroos. Possession still 70-30. Expected goals pushing 6 now for the Socceroos. So they're happily outscoring that. Aidan O'Neill has done well. Straightens up, too much power. Aidan O'Neill straight past Sakil into the area. That's got penalty surely. Well, he tried 3 or 4 times to foul him, Sakil. In the end, Aidan O'Neill just kept going. And he probably could have still kept going, but the referee said enough is enough.
No, clear penalty. I remember these raids very fondly from an A-League viewpoint. Connor Metcalf and Aidan O'Neill doing this in tandem for Melbourne City. Now doing it in Europe. And what a handful. And there's going to be no first goal for Australia from this penalty, Robbie.
Absolutely not.
Probably much to your chagrin.
Well,
looking for the fairy tale. It's Masluongo.
It is Masluongo to mark his fairy tale return to the Socceroos. He's only ever taken 3 penalties, Andy Harper. He's missed all of them. Here he goes, and it's saved again. Well, no fairy tale. And he must be wondering, is he ever going to score a penalty?
Well, it's not. Let's make this more about Mitchell, who deserves to leave the field tonight being able to say he saved the penalty. He's been excellent, the Bangladesh goalkeeper. And I'm pretty happy to take the pain away from Masluongo in that case. It was a poor penalty from a guy of his standard, but I guess that personal penalty-taking history was sitting on his shoulder like a 1,000-kilo gorilla.
He wanted to get it off, but he hasn't been able to shake it from his back. Miller again for Yengi. Is there to be a fairy tale? Yengi! Well, he hit it hard enough to burst through any fairy tale and beyond.
Well, keeper had guessed the right way. Any sort of deflection, he might have been beaten, but he didn't muck around. Cassini Yengi, Masluongo from the spot. Mitchell, and the excellent goalkeeper for Bangladesh tonight. That's, ironically, one of the less difficult saves he had to make, and he was falling to his right to try and bash that one away from Cassini Yengi.
Yengi has it again with Metcalf. Crosses. It might yet fall for McLaren. Might yet fall. As it's getting pretty desperate at the back now.
Yeah, it was getting all under 6 Gala Day again in there.
Tariq Kazi managed to get it clear. That glancing header only towards Longo. Bajic. O'Neill, lovely ball for Miller. Yengi's in the middle. It finds McLaren. He couldn't keep it down. But he has been his typical clinical self, Jamie McLaren, and that's what he's there for, really. When you're in a match where you're creating so many chances and so many are going begging, you can count on Jamie McLaren. A second-half hat-trick for him. Free kick again. We've got just over 2 minutes left. Rabiul not happy. A chilly night in Melbourne. The Socceroos have warmed the hearts of their supporters back on home soil. Miller, one way then the other, still going. Fouled again by Sohel. And the free kick, which has been a constant source of danger. They have another here.
Well, I think he's had a fun night tonight, Lewis Miller. It's a lot of possession, really positive parts of the field. It's enabled him to do what he loves doing, and that's raid forward. As light rain sweeps in to finish this game off. Can Australia get an 8th?
Metcalf to deliver. Drives it in low. The wall split as he had anticipated perhaps, but he couldn't catch out the keeper at the near post. That whistle's in the crowd, not from the referee, who's asked play to continue. There's always one. And is there to be that fairy tale after all, but at the other end. Rafikur, the ball in is a good one towards Morcelin. Well, it would have been tough on the Socceroos to concede in the 4th minute of stoppage time, having dominated this match from start to finish. There will be no more time. The final whistle, drawing to a close, an emphatic beginning, a confident first step on the road to the FIFA World Cup in 2026 in Mexico, the United States and Canada. It will be the biggest ever World Cup, and the Socceroos, they want to be a part of it. The long journey to qualify begins at Amy Park with victory. Jamie McLaren, the second-half sub, already has his hands on the match ball despite a courageous performance from Bangladesh and their teenage goalkeeper, Mitul Marma. The goal after just the 4th minute from Harry Suter set the Socceroos on their way. Brandon Borello and Mitch Duke made it 4-0 at half-time. That McLaren hat-trick in the second half, and it could have been so many more. It finishes at Amy Park. Australia 7, Bangladesh 0.
Alex Ross, Scargy Thompson, John Aloisi, what a comprehensive performance that was this evening here at Amy Park. 7-0, goals across the field, some inspired substitution, great minutes in the legs of the subs that did come on. And, well, it could have been more goals, couldn't it, of Johnny A? It was a great performance in the end.
It was a great performance by Connor Metcalf in particular. In the second half, I thought Lewis Miller got forward really well, set up some great opportunities, set up some goals. Geordie Boss on the left. They attacked really well in the wide areas. They shifted them, and then when they found the right time to penetrate in those wide areas, and then they got those early crosses into the box, and that's why McLaren had 3 and could have even got 4 or 5.
They were so dangerous out wide, and we're talking about Jamie McLaren, who was the hat-trick hero tonight. Let's hear from him now. It's with Neve Owens. Nevo.
He certainly is, Taz. His second hat-trick in Aussie colours. He's got the match ball here to show for it. Not a bad half of football, J-Mac.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. In a place I do my business, so yeah, look, it's 7 goals, but could have been more for myself as well. But look, we move on, 3 points, and we head to Kuwait now.
7 goals and a clean sheet. As far as the start of World Cup qualification goes, is that a pretty perfect way to do it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you always strive for better, and we obviously know that we could have scored a lot more, and the boys at the back were solid. Not even sure Maddie had a save to make. So, yeah, proud of the team, but we obviously know that the next game's going to be a lot harder.
Arnie said in the lead-up that he wanted to see some park football. He wanted to see the flicks, the tricks. Do you think he delivered what the boss was after?
Yeah, it's a new group. Obviously, it's a new chapter as well, and some debuts, and congratulations to Cassini. He's deserved that, and he nearly got his goal as well. So, yeah, there's some young boys coming through and keeping us older boys on our toes.
Yeah, well, you did well tonight. Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Nick.
He does the business for Melbourne City here at Amy Park, and he did the business in the green and gold here this evening. It was so true, wasn't it? Matt Ryan wasn't called into action, Alex Gross, and the way that the Socceroos attacked, especially using those wide players bombing forward from defence into attack, and the wingers as well, it was a really great attacking display.
It was the perfect match when you look at what Bangladesh threw at us. They didn't sit back as much as we thought they would. They actually played quite open, which allowed those little triangles out in wide areas that Arnie was talking about pre-game to happen. It allowed those combinations that you mentioned. These guys, Geordie Boss, getting in behind, Miller as well. And look, like I said, I think it was the perfect game to allow everybody, to do their bit. It was almost like a training session at times with the combinations and what we were seeing, and then of course the finishing, Archie. 7 goals, perfect way to start.
Yeah, it was incredible, and we knew that Bangladesh were going to tire towards the end there, because if you do that amount of defending, the gaps are going to start to open up, and when you've got that quality on the bench that can come out in those wide areas and have that speed and pace, and that I guess the mindfulness for Graham Arnold to make those subs is they're thinking of obviously Palestine in Kuwait, which is obviously difficult when you think about the heat and the travel. So I guess there's that mindfulness in that, but just a solid performance for the boys.
Yeah, solid performance to start this 3 years ahead to qualify for the World Cup in 2026. We're off to a short break here live from Amy Park on Network 10 and Paramount Plus. Don't go anywhere. We'll wrap it all up on the other side. The Socceroos get it done 7-0 against Bangladesh. What a start it was here tonight at Amy Park for the Socceroos. A comprehensive performance against Bangladesh. 7-0 the final result. And the players are here welcoming their players back home as they kicked off the road to 2026 right here at Amy Park. And a player that he made his Socceroos debut tonight. He's come through the A-Leagues from Adelaide United to the Western Sydney Wanderers to Portsmouth in League One. It's Cassini Yengi, and he's with Neve Owens.
Cassini Yengi, congratulations on your debut for the Socceroos. What was that moment like when you came out in the second half?
Yeah, it was a very proud moment. I don't think it's really sunk in. It just all happened so quick, but yeah, amazing.
You've got your mum and dad here and plenty of supporters there in the stands, still going wild. What does that mean to you?
It means everything to me, honestly. Without them, I wouldn't be here, They used to take me to soccer games when I was younger and provided food for me and everything that I needed to grow and mature and become a professional footballer. So it means a lot to have them here. They don't really get to watch too many games. So yeah, very proud moment.
You nearly had your first goal on debut as well. What did you make of that contest?
Yeah, it was a great game, to be honest. We came out here and we wanted to score as many goals as we could and be ruthless, because it doesn't matter who we're playing. It is a World Cup qualifier and we need the points to go to the World Cup, which is what everyone wants to do. So, yeah.
What would that mean to you, 2026 World Cup for the Socceroos?
It'd be amazing. It's something that I think every young Australian kid dreams of, and I'm sure you saw what the boys did at the recent World Cup. It was amazing, and watching that at home, it was something that I want to be a part of. So hopefully we can, game by game, work towards qualifying, and hopefully I'll be on the flight over.
Congrats on taking the first step.
Thank you.
He's dreaming big. He wanted to be a part of it, talking about the World Cup, and he got to be a part of it tonight, making his Socceroos debut. Kusini Yengi and his family were in the crowd as well. Their faces absolutely beaming. Let's take a look at the goal package. Jan Sachi Thompson, 7-0. What a start this is to 2026.
Yeah.
Graham Arnold wanted to make a statement. He did.
Yeah, and he did. And it was a beautiful little Tara, I love you chant over in the corner here. I just got to point that out. But it started beautiful. You don't give free kicks in dangerous areas for Bangladesh so early when you look at the size of Harry Suter, and what a wonderful delivery by Goodwin, and an even better header just to kick the night off.
Yeah, it was perfect, and you see the importance of someone like Craig Goodwin in matches like these. It starts us off well, great delivery. That ball there from Miller over the top, and we spoke how important it was to be making these runs in behind, getting good balls in for tap-ins like this, and we saw a couple at the end of the night, Johnny, that made it easy for strikers.
It did, and we attacked them well in those wide areas. We got bodies into the box, we got those early balls in, those crosses in, because we have got height, we've got players that can actually get on the end of things. And where Arnie would be most happy is that his strikers scored. Duke in the first half got a double, and then you got Brandon Barilla got on the score sheet. You know, that always helps when your strikers are hitting their straps, especially now, I know against a lesser opposition, but it gives them confidence. Jay McLaren getting a hat-trick. It's good signs moving forward.
And I think, especially like you said there, Johnny, going into the next game as well, it will be a similar game. The conditions, Archie, you mentioned earlier, will be a lot more testing, but the game will be the same. You know, it'll be about how we unlock teams when they come up against, when they pack the defences and make it difficult.
I really felt in that second half that we got forward well out wide on the left as well. Jordy Boss moving further forward, Aziz Bayic coming on. We started to provide opportunities for our strikers in those wider areas, not only on the right but also on the left.
Great to see Jamie McLaren. Well, he had a hat-trick tonight. Maslawongo, gosh, he'll be ruining that chance when he did step up to the spot. But as you said, the waves of attack kept coming and coming and coming. Even though Bangladesh, they didn't sit back in a deep defensive block, they wanted to play.
Yeah, and that's what, I guess, surprised us leading into this game. We would have thought that they would have sat a lot deeper, made it more difficult for our boys to break them down. But as soon as they started to open up, you could see the speed out in the wide areas, and it was just a matter of getting them out there and the quality across. And Jamie McLaren, just that poacher in the box that just gets a hat-trick.
The only guy that was missing a goal, and he was so industrious, is you, Connor Metcalf. Thank you so much for joining us. An impressive and a magnificent performance from you out there tonight. You had engines for days, and the attack from out wide was just phenomenal. Congratulations on the result. A great start to this World Cup qualifying campaign that's 3 years long.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think it was a good start, to, like you said, a long campaign. Yes, I was really trying to go for goal. I think that last free kick was not necessary, but I went for it. So, yeah, it's a good start.
We've heard about the camaraderie that Arnie has built within this squad, and just how good it is when you guys come back and that culture that he's built. Tonight had a bit of extra special meaning for him as well. Was it pleasing to be able to carry out that game plan and get a big win for him tonight as well?
Yeah, definitely. Before the game, we watched plenty of his close friends and family send videos in, and I think we were one goal away from getting his highest score of all the games. But yeah, under Arnie, it's very special. We're like a close family and stuff like that, and yeah, we enjoy playing for him.
With your club side here, Melbourne City, you played more as that attacking midfield 8 position, we want to call it. But you started playing on the right side a little bit more at club level in Germany. Did you find that just more comfortable that you've played out there? And yeah, I know you moved inside a lot and let Lewis Miller overtake and come on the outside of you and combine really well. How did you find it out there?
Yeah, obviously, like at club, it was a bit of a shock when he spoke to me about it, but it took a while to get used to. But I've played, plenty of games there to be comfortable now. And tonight was a bit of a mixed role, a bit of a freedom, come inside, stay out wide. But I know that Lewis is, he's got the engine just to go up and down. So I just thought just to stay inside and let him get up the flank, you know what I mean?
And you can see that the team obviously has really great camaraderie, but there's so much depth for, for positions. Even on the training grounds, is it still quite tough out there? Like, do you still give it to each other? Knowing that there's a lot of,
In training, it's hard because, most of the boys are getting off long flights. We can't really train as intense as we want to, prepare for games. But yeah, obviously there's always competition for spots. Like, it's football at the end of the day, everyone wants to play. But at the same time, it just goes to show that we've got plenty of depth no matter what.
Well, Connor, thank you so much for joining us. A big congratulations on the result. Good luck in Pakistan.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. We're going to hear from one of your teammates
Cheers,
now, Lewis Miller.
Lewis Miller, how special was that combination between yourself and Connor Metcalf on the right tonight?
Yeah, good. Obviously, a first combination. A good look to see us both in action. Like I said, we got a lot of joy down that right side. Afraid I couldn't get a few more assists there, but look, it was a great performance and I'm happy with the team.
You copped no shortage of attention yourself. It was a fiery old encounter. What did you make of that contest?
Well, it was always going to be fiery, right? These are World Cup qualifiers. This is the big stage. This is the real deal. So, like I said, we go out, give 120%, and there's going to be a few knocks, a few fights here and there. So, but heck, we got the job at the end of the day. So.
Q8 next, and you'll be joining your mate from Hibs, Martin Boyle, in that one. He'll have watched this contest today. How keen will he be to be in the goals next game?
Oh yeah, he'll be buzzing. He'll be spewing. He didn't get a few goals and assists here today, but like I said, he's obviously a very valuable member of the team, so we'll be buzzing to have him.
Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Oh, we're back on, guys. Sorry. Hi, this is live TV.
Talk about all those goals.
With the bouncing ball. All right, we're off to a short break. Don't go anywhere. We're not going to go anywhere. We promise you we're going to be a little bit more focused. Graham Arnold joins us on the other side. We'll hear from the Socceroos coach. And don't forget, the Matildas, they're back in action next month.
Cuts it in, Adriana Leon. What a hit! What a great goal! Canada take the lead with a rocket into the top corner. Back to Kerr, who cuts it for Fowler! Less than 2.5 minutes on the clock, and Sam Kerr sets up Mary Fowler to give the Matildas the dream start.
Well, what a night it was for Jamie McLaren at his home ground where he plays the A-Leagues for Melbourne City. Well, he wasn't just done with one, he wasn't just done with two, but he made it a sweet 3 goals from off the bench. A fantastic second half performance from him, the super sub. J-Mac just reminding Graham Arnold and the rest of the nation of what he can do when he is in the green and gold. 7-0 it was tonight. The Socceroos beat Bangladesh. And yes, Australia now sits top of the standings. Lebanon and Palestine are in action in 1 a.m. in the morning. So those are the standings as they are. Let's hear now from the Socceroos coach, Graham Arnold.
Graham Arnold, what a special way to celebrate your milestone game as coach of the Socceroos. How special was that for you personally?
Look, it's, as I said before, it's probably something I'll reflect on in the future. My main focus was to win this game and perform well in front of the fans and the families of the players, and now focus on Palestine, but obviously very proud.
You wanted to see an exciting performance. You talked about backyard football in the lead-up. Did you get the performance you were after?
Yeah, look, I think that the boys did exceptionally well. We only had that one training session for those type of connections, but look, overall, I think we could have doubled the score at least, had another 4 or 5 goals, but I'm very proud of the boys today.
Lewis Miller and Connor Metcalf on the right. Is that an attacking combination that Socceroos fans can feel very excited about?
Yeah, look, it's developing. I've only had Lewis Miller in for two games, and Connor Metcalf is just coming along in leaps and bounds at St. Pauli, and he's playing there every week, and you can see that he's getting better and better every game, and it's great to have some depth there.
Have you seen how they're using him at St. Pauli and given him that instruction to push forward, use that attacking prowess?
Yeah, but look, it's all the players I try to play to their strengths, but also, their roles at their clubs. And Connor plays that role at his club. He's plays on the right side, always comes inside as a right 8 or a right 10. And we just don't want to change that because, I get 2 days to train the boys. They get their 48 weeks with their clubs, and I've got to, coach them the way that they're used to.
Martin Boyle waiting in Q8 for the next game. How hard is it to break into a side that's just scored 7 goals?
Yeah, look, I think Boyley will be watching, and but look, he's fantastic for us, Boyley, and that's why I took the boys off at half time. you know, when it was 4-0, the older boys, a couple of the older boys, to keep them fresh for Tuesday in Kuwait.
Good luck.
Thank you.
The job was well and truly done here tonight at Amy Park, and then they jump on a plane and head to Kuwait. Do not forget, you can catch every single game of the Asian Cup live and exclusive on Paramount Plus. It all kicks off in January, and Australia and India are first up. Another big crown that Graham Arnold will want to capture, and it's Palestine v the Socceroos in the early hours of Wednesday morning, 12:30 a.m. We'll take you right through to early hours of Wednesday. Just stay up on Tuesday night, team, so you can catch that one. And what about this? When the A-Leagues return back after the international break, it's a huge city derby with Sydney FC v the Western Sydney Wanderers, which will be headlining all of the A-League action. Well, team, it was great to have your company here tonight. And what a way to celebrate the 18th anniversary of when you slotted away that penalty, John Aloisi, a 7-0 result here tonight. Quite fitting, you've got to say, in the end.
Oh, look, it's not about the penalty.
Don't lie, Johnny.
No, it was a great game. And Arnie spoke about the performance before the game, and, you know, everyone does talk about that night being so special, and it was a fitting moment for them to perform like that.
Yep, very happy across the board, team. What was your highlight?
The highlight, the 7 goals. I think we've been asking for goals and for things outside of set pieces. We saw a lot of tap-ins, Jamie McLaren getting a couple tonight, all the strikers, like Johnny said, so it was great to see a lot of goals.
Yeah, and mine was my question to Connor Metcalf that he didn't understand, and I didn't even understand.
That's okay, Archie. Working with you for a while, it just all becomes some gobbledygook sometimes. All right, thank you so much for your company, team. Thank you so much for joining us at home. The job was done tonight. We are off and running, working towards the World Cup in 2026, and the Socceroos got it done against Bangladesh 7-0 here at Amy Park. We'll see you very soon. Enjoy the football heading your way. Good night.